right, we're here, day 30. This is the final video of the 30-day video challenge, which I know from day one till now, it's kind of been maybe 37 days, but but we've made it. So thank you for your patience as I kind of settle in with other aspects of my life. Just, settling in, getting things situated in my new apartment. And yeah, I hope that first and foremost, how are you? I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful start to the week or the weekend. As I'm recording this, it is, what time is it? It is, oh no, it's still Sunday. I don't know if it was after midnight yet, but it's still Sunday, June the 15th. And depending on what country you're in, it's Father's Day in certain countries. So the US, I believe Canada, I think Japan celebrates Father's Day as well. But happy Father's Day. If your father is still with you, I hope that you are able to celebrate him. If your father has passed on, I hope that you're able to celebrate him in your own special way. And yeah, for the topic of this video, I was taking some notes, and I'm not sure what the title will be specifically, but it might have the number 40 in it at some point. It's interesting because this is a 30-day video challenge, but it got me thinking about this quote that I have seen here and there on Instagram from the, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess up what his profession was, but Carl Jung, or I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but his last name is spelled Jung, but I think it's pronounced Jung, or if you know the correct pronunciation, please put it in the comments. But there is a quote from him that I've seen here and there, which goes along the lines of life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you're just doing research. And yeah, that's been something that I've sat with, especially as I am about a year from turning 40. I'll be 39, turning 39 this August. So I still have like another year to go before I do turn 40. But it is something that I think about because, when you're a kid, and it's weird, like when I was a kid, like when I was in middle school, I thought like 22 was like, wow, 22 is like, you're up there, you're like really an adult. And then you get to 22 and you're like, oh, I still feel kind of like I'm still just beginning. And in comparing my 20s with my 30s and hitting the tail end of my 30s, yeah, my 20s and my 30s feel like two different arenas. One thing I can say for certain is that I feel like adulthood really began when I hit my 30s. Like there was something about when I turned 30, it just felt like life got really real, like full swing, like the things that come with the challenges of adulthood. Like I remember I got like my second car at 30. My first one I got when I was in college. But I got my second car when I was 30, and I had moved back to the US after being in Korea for 2 years. And yeah, like I rented like my first apartment in Cleveland at that time. I had before then just had apartments in Korea, but they were handled by my schools that I worked for. But yeah, getting the experience of like I'm renting my first apartment at 30, and just going through like I had like some car trouble and working through that situation. I think that I started like really entering like my first real relationships when I got into my 30s, and those were like very much, I would say when it came to like the up and down, there was more downs than ups, but it was all learning experience, which the quote again is like, yeah, there's been a lot of research, life experience that I've had to gain in some pretty tough ways in these 30s. And I'm like, if there was a word that I could, or not just one word, but a series of words that I could describe my 30s as, it's been like very a roller coaster, like up and down. I've moved a lot. I lived in New York for 2 years, and just the experience of how I got to New York came with, the lesson learned of like chasing a relationship, hoping that, oh, I can just move there and things will just work out. And then trying to kind of pick up the pieces of your life when that relationship goes south. And there's been many things that I've had to learn as a result. And so I feel like what my 30s taught me in comparison to my 20s was how much resiliency I needed to build and develop, and how much I had to realize going through things that showed me how not everything will go your way in your direction, but how well can you pivot and turn those situations around? How well can you alchemize those challenges that come your way? Change has been like a huge theme of my 30s. And yeah, I think that a big change as well came when I decided to change my name. Back in 2023, I was just, what age did I turn? I was 37. And it's like, I feel like all of this is in a way preparing me for what my 40s will be. And one thing that I am hoping, I know that life will continuously be full of changes, but I hope that all the experiences that I've had in my 30s will allow my 40s to be a little bit more smoother and steadier in a way. I hope that the clarity that I've been able to gather and gain, and the challenges that have come, I hope that I can work through these challenges and that they can be behind me, and in a way where they don't have to come to such a high peak as they have in these 30s. And even now, as I'm living in Korea, you know, there have been ups and downs with the circumstances of I started a new job, but prior to that, I was working for another academy, and I decided not to renew that contract due to some personal, you know, reasons that I had. But that in itself was a moment where I had to make a decision of, okay, it's easier to just stay and renew, or you can go on the alternative route of looking for something else that can better serve and suit your needs. And so it kind of puts you back out there of like, okay, I know I want to stay in Korea, and I know at this moment of the journey, since I don't have residency yet in Korea, it is dependent upon having the right employer who can sponsor my visa. So that has been, you know, another situation that I'm working through as well. So until I can get to that point of getting residency, I am in the position of ensuring that the work that I have can help me stay in Korea until I can reach that point of being eligible for residency. So yeah, I wrote a few notes here, and I do want to pause and say if my message is resonating for you, if you're someone who might be in your 20s watching this, or your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, yeah, please feel free to chime in on what your experience has been like. Do you feel like your 30s were a challenging time? Were your 40s more challenging? Like, I think it's different for all of us. Like, I feel that we're all meant to face different unique challenges to teach us lessons that we need to learn. And so I feel like whatever lessons I've been meant to learn, a lot of them have been heavily weighted in the 30s, the decade of my 30s compared to my 20s. My 20s felt like a breeze. It was like finished college, you know, went to Korea twice. Yeah, it was just like pretty smooth, you know, for the most part. But I do have like visions, like, you know, how do I want my 40s to look? And one thing when it comes to like a professional angle, like I really want to step into having my own business, especially as I'm living abroad. I feel like having my own business and being an entrepreneur is a more sustainable way to live long term in another country. Yes, it's nice to have a company that you can work for, but I feel like to really sustain and not be so dependent upon, you know, the local ecosystem and economy, or a local, you know, company to support you, like start your own business, harness your talents and create something. So a dream that I have for my 40s is I want to start my own business, and I feel like I'm making steady steps here and there towards creating something that can turn into a business, or be a branch into another business. Like one thing that I did a week ago, if you watched a few previous videos, I mentioned that I started a meetup group for women living internationally, and we had our first meetup a week ago, and it was amazing. And I just felt that I was able to connect with the group and to just hear their stories of like what led them to joining the group, and what we were able to just share like our own experiences as far as challenges that we've encountered, what hopes we have as far as building community in our respective parts of the world. So for me, that's been important as far as the necessity to have that sense of community around you that connects with what supports you as far as from a spiritual angle, those who can really get and understand where you're coming from. So I see myself allowing that to be a space that I can create, a platform and just an environment for women who are looking for a connection to other women who are trying to live a happier life, a more sustainable life, a more connected life, a life that allows them to listen to their heart, to feel in harmony with themselves, because by being in harmony with ourselves, we're able to be in harmony with others around us and to identify those connections that are going to support us. So the group is Women Abroad in Harmony. If you're interested in checking it out, I'll put a link below in the description. So if you want to check out one of our meetups, right now they're virtual, but I fully like envision like these can transition into like conferences or retreats. There's a lot of potential. So it's virtual, and I will put a link below if you want to check it out. We'll be doing another meetup next Sunday, June the 22nd. So yeah, so for my 40s, wanting to own my own business, and a lot of that connects with, I also want to hopefully be married and have a family, to raise children. And a vision I have is, when I become a mother, I want to have the time with my children and allow that to be supported by having my own business. Like I feel that I really want to be like the full stay-at-home mother, like raising my kids without having to like, well, how do I juggle showing up for an employer, like raising my kids, having to show up for a job. I really want to have transitioned out of that particular space where I have my own business, where I can be in control of my own hours, that allows me to balance the needs of my children and raising them. And in a way, I feel like it'll be a positive message for them where they can see that, wow, like my mom started her own business and she has been able to create something from her own ideas and her own drive. And yeah, I want to, have a business that allows me the flexibility and the time freedom to be able to be present for my kids and to raise them. And so, yeah, while I'm here abroad, so, I'm hoping to have a positive space in my life for relationships, family. I love to have a home, like to raise my kids in a very nice, spacious home, and to have like a yard where they can run around in. And yeah, we'll see how it looks. But I do want to see my 40s being a place where I have that foundation built, where I have the children, a husband, family, that connection. So I believe it's going to find me. I believe that it will come to me. I know that, I put it out there, and I'm staying faithful. So 40. So if you're watching this, and yeah, I'm a year away, but I'm still contemplating, and I don't know if I'll do like a celebration of turning 40, but I want to be thankful for the lessons. I want to have gratitude for this phase of life. I feel like no matter where we are, no matter where we've been, that we should be thankful for the lessons it taught us, because it is preparing us for that next phase, that next level. And by having gratitude, I think that it helps us have, well, I think understanding. When we meet someone who's going through something, we can empathize with their experience. And what does my battery say? 20%. Okay, we're going to be all right. I hope that didn't cut off or anything. But I think that by being grateful for where we've been, it allows us to open up blessings to enter our life that can help us in the next phase. So I want to be thankful for the 30s. I want to take these lessons, these challenges. I want to take all of this and alchemize it to turn into favorable outcomes, favorable opportunities, those connections with the right people, the right places. And, you know, the word divine timing has come up a lot for me over the past few months. And sometimes it's like we can't always rush the things that we want. It's like, I really want this, I want this, I want this. And when we look back, when we do finally get that thing that we wanted or that opportunity that we wanted, it's like when it comes, at least for me, it's like I've recognized, like, you know, I think this came at the right time. I think it came right when I needed it to. Like with me changing my name, I think that I wouldn't have been ready for that at, say, 33 or 34. I think that the time that I needed to change my name came at the time that it was supposed to. Like at 37, that was when I was supposed to change my name. Not at 31, not at 32. And another thing which just hit my mind, you know, still giving thought to what I want to put in my memoir, because I did start drafting a memoir about a year ago, and it's coming along in stages. I've kind of, you know, taken a break from it because I kind of want life to breathe a little bit. I had one title at the beginning, and now I'm kind of on another title for it. But I feel like all of these experiences that I'm having are like, they're going to be in the book. So every time I have a moment where I'm like, man, that was so challenging, or like, man, like, ugh, like goodness, I'm so frustrated. But I'm like, you know what? It's all going to go in the book, and someone else is going to read this, and they're going to need this. And I kind of feel like some of what I'm going through can be like in maybe hope for someone else, or clarity for someone else. And life is a book, which I did another video on. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you for being with me on this 30-day video challenge. And I hope that you have taken something of value, something insightful from these videos. And I'll be back, like 30-day challenge is finished, but I do want to keep sharing my voice on this channel. And I'd love to still grow this community. So if you feel led to, you're welcome to subscribe to the channel. And I probably didn't introduce myself. I don't think I did. So I'm Selena at Sunny Sage 11. And I really thank you for being here. I hope you have a great week ahead, and that your June goes great and amazing. And yeah, we'll see what the future holds. So 39 is coming up in a couple months, but next year we'll be hitting 40, and we'll see what that looks like. So take care and have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'll see you next time.